The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Get ready for another trip beyond the Garden Gate with our host, Linda Temporino. She'll tour a garden that definitely was a real challenge to create, since it sits well below street level. Once through the magnificent gate and down the stone stairs, these gardeners have turned an unimpressive plot into a beautiful and peaceful retreat. Then on to a very unusual vegetable garden, where this guest gardener has designed and built it to be self-watering. And as you will see, Linda had no problem enjoying the fruits of his labor. And best friend Maduke even gets to enjoy a treat direct off the vine. So enjoy today's adventure beyond the Garden Gate.
Hi, I'm Linda Temporino. Welcome to another episode of Beyond the Garden Gate. Today we're in Nashua and we're visiting a lovely garden that belongs to Kathy and Paul. And it was on the garden tour. How many years ago, Kathy?
I think it was 3 years.
3 years ago. And it's stayed in my mind because you've done such an unbelievable job with the landscaping here.
Thank you.
Yeah. And Paul, can you tell us about this beautiful fence?
Well, it's a gate that we bought about 5-6 years ago. The nice thing about it is that it's cast aluminum. It's not a wrought iron gate, so it stands up very well to the elements. Doesn't require a lot of repainting and a lot of maintenance. So it's been a great addition to the yard.
Is it all handmade?
It's custom made.
Yes
it's custom made.
Yeah.
And was it done locally?
No, actually, it's
Upstate
from
New
China.
York.
Actually.
From China.
Well,
Yeah.
Upstate New York is the company,
Yeah.
and they did, resource it
But they
out.
offshore the job.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just beautiful.
Thank you.
Well, we have a flight of steps to go down to the garden. It's going to be a challenge for the both of us. So I'll have to take my bifocals off so I don't trip over myself.
Yeah, they're long steps, so
Yeah.
you should have easier time.
Okay, well, let's take a walk down this flight of steps and see what lies ahead of us. It's really a beautiful little spot you have. Well, Paul, let's take a walk down. If you'd open the gate for us, and we can just step on into your little sanctuary down there.
Okay. Let's go.
Well, we're taking a little walk down these lovely, beautiful, beautiful stepway into the garden, and we have some lovely works of art to greet us. And what is this creature here?
It's called a green man.
And I love this embankment of ferns. Have you had any problems with this being an invasive species of ferns?
Well, we've kind of let it go. We encourage the invasiveness.
Okay.
Yeah, because it fills in that big, shallow.
It makes it look so lush and
Yeah.
cool.
Yes. Yeah.
So, well, let's walk on through here. And what is this other little plant?
That's
in
just
here?
some sedum.
A sedum. Okay, and that will bloom in the fall.
No, it blooms in spring. Yellow, little yellow flowers in the
Love all
spring.
your little works of art all around. This is adorable.
Little rain chime, they
Little
call
rain
it.
chime. Kathy, what is this beautiful cluster of flowers here? What is this?
Well, these are cleomes that are all volunteers. We didn't plant them here, but they started to come up, and we didn't have the heart to pull them, and they've just become prettier, and as time's gone on, and we just left them. So
I thought these were an annual.
they are an annual, but for some reason they must like this spot, and this has happened for the past several years, and we've just let them grow.
Wow, you must have something like an underground warm spring here.
I don't know. The sun does hit them first thing in the morning, so it warms up quickly.
And you're down in a valley here, so maybe it just doesn't get the strong winds of
Yeah, it's a little protected, I think. Yeah.
Well, this garden is very far down below the street
Yes.
level, so
Yeah.
I think it's probably a lot warmer than most other people's
Yeah.
garden.
A little sheltered, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
So, well, let's take another walk around the corner and see what we have there.
Okay.
And I see we have a few more visitors over here from your Cleome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't have the heart to pull them out.
They're adorable, and I love the way they're growing through the pea gravel.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I love the size of this pea gravel.
Yes.
It's so easy to walk on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's very, very attractive.
Thank
We
you.
have some balloon flowers back here, beautiful, beautiful blue.
Mm-hmm.
You can never find enough blue in the garden.
No, it's difficult.
It is difficult. And it looks so pretty with the yellow
Daylilies.
daylilies. Yeah.
Yeah, they're almost done, but there's still a few left.
Few, yeah.
And this is a Henry lilac that blooms in June after the regular New England lilacs.
They usually bloom in April.
Yeah.
So you have a late blooming
Yes,
lilac. That's
it's
nice.
Henry DuPont, I guess, is a hybrid,
And what color is it?
and it's purple.
It is purple.
Yeah, but a light purple.
Mm-hmm.
And as you can see, there are more Cleomes here, volunteers as well. And there are some herbs in the back there, some oregano, and there's some dwarf iris that are actually in the herb family. And I just like that little sign. I made it. I saw it somewhere, and my husband cut out the wood and I painted it. So I just liked it. I thought it was cute.
Well, we're moving over into another part of the garden. It's a small garden, but boy, you've packed everything in here, haven't you?
We
Kathy?
really have.
Yeah, and it was quite a challenge. But this is a mugo pine.
Yes.
It's Japanese. It's a Japanese type.
I believe so, yeah.
And you got a beautiful red bud. I can't imagine how beautiful that is in the
It was
spring.
covered this year, just
Yeah.
covered with pink flowers.
But I really do believe you have a microclimate down here, because I couldn't get them to grow in my yard.
Yeah.
I had them, they just died on me.
Oh, that's strange.
And that was before we had that really cold winter last
Yes,
year.
yeah.
That was a couple of years ago.
It did take several years, and then finally it flowered.
Wow.
And it hasn't stopped, and it's really gotten large.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
I have never seen one that large.
Yeah.
That's
I
really
guess
great.
at some old houses you will see a real old tree that you almost don't realize is a red bud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had them, they just died on me.
Oh, that's strange.
And that was before we had that really cold winter last
Yes,
year.
yeah.
That was a couple of years ago.
It did take several years, and then finally it flowered.
Wow.
And it hasn't stopped, and it's really gotten large.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
I have never seen one that large.
Yeah.
That's
I
really
guess
great.
at some old houses you will see a real old tree that you almost don't realize is a red bud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have a little Buddha over here.
Yes. Yes. That's yeah. I just like it overlooking the pool. There is a fountain that comes out of there and into the pool as well.
It's a lovely stone wall. Did Paul build that?
Yes, yep.
He did.
Paul built all the stone walls and the steps, and actually we've done pretty much everything here. It was very barren, just some scrubby type plants and trees.
And that's quite an achievement, the way you've landscaped the slope coming down from the road.
Yeah, it was. It was difficult because of the various levels of the yard, and we wanted an area that flattened out, and that's when we put the pool in, and just have kind of continued to, landscape around.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
It's just lovely. So it's quite a little oasis.
Okay.
And what are these over here? These round spheres.
Oh, they're just cement.
They're just
ornaments, yeah, that I thought looked, kind of nice on the steps to separate the steps from the grass. And this is a Japanese pine here that was really tiny. It's probably been there 20 years now.
How long have you been in this house?
We've been here 42 years.
Wow.
Going on 43.
Wow.
So we were very young and inexperienced
And had a lot more energy.
yes.
What are we going to do when we've created these monster gardens?
I don't
we have
know.
to start maintaining them at our age.
Yeah, it is a lot of work, but I think if you enjoy it and like the results, that's, I think, what is an impetus to keep going.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, this looks like quite the specimen of a hydrangea that you have here. Which one is this?
This is called Annabelle.
Annabelle.
A snowball hydrangea that it's knocked down from all the rain we've had recently, but it really is a pretty bush, and they make wonderful cut flowers that last quite a while, and you can dry them as well. I know people make wreaths, and I haven't, but it does make a nice dried flower as well.
Now, do you cut this back in the fall or spring?
We cut it back in the spring because it does flower on new wood.
On new wood.
Yes, the oak leaves in the front flower on the old wood, so you have to be careful cutting them back. You can cut them back early in the spring, and be careful though if you see any buds.
Well, the trick is you have to know which hydrangea you have, because
Yes.
some have to be cut in the spring and some have to be cut in the fall.
Yes.
Because of that old new wood new that
Yes.
you mentioned. And my problem is I don't remember what I planted.
Right.
The tags are gone.
Yes, this one too, I understand that if you cut them back, you can cut them to the ground, but if you do, it makes the stems weaker, and they're less likely to hold up these mop head flowers. So you're better off to just cut them to maybe, you know, waist level,
high or
yeah,
something.
depending on where your waist is.
Yeah. But they're very attractive,
Oh,
very pretty.
yeah.
And they're starting to turn a little pink already.
Yes, they turn greenish, and then they do turn pink, and then when they dry on the bush, they turn kind of a rusty brown, which looks pretty in the winter. It creates winter interest.
You can
Yeah.
even use them on your Christmas tree.
I have seen.
Make little bundles and
Yeah.
put them on the tree.
I have seen that. Yes.
Very pretty.
Thank you.
Okay, let's walk on over here, Kathy. Oh, look what we bumped into. Resting in the shade, enjoying
this is my
enjoying
job.
your view.
This is my job.
This is your job. This is a lovely, lovely little arbor.
Oh, thanks.
I love the little bistro set that you have here.
Thank you.
Is this a reproduction or
Yes.
is it,
Yeah.
it is?
It's just yeah.
It's lovely.
Thank you.
What is growing up here?
This is a wisteria, and it's an American version. It's not the Chinese
so
version.
it's not as invasive.
It's hardier to our climate, and it does get the beautiful, you know, panicle flowers that hang down. It's really
and
pretty.
what color is it?
Purple.
Purple.
In the spring, yeah.
And the fragrance is
Oh, beautiful!
unbelievable,
Yeah,
isn't it?
it's really almost like a perfume.
It is.
Beautiful, yeah.
Now, how this is not too terribly old. I'm looking at the size.
No, it's probably well, it's been planted 5 or 6 years, but I think they told us it was 5 or 6 years old, the plant, when we bought it. And we did have a Japanese wisteria that died, so that's why this has been replaced with this one, and it's much more hardy, and you know, I think it's more suitable to our climate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the Japanese ones are so invasive. I mean, my husband was up there constantly cutting it. Finally, we had to just take it down. 'Cause
Yeah.
It was just too invasive for us
Yeah.
to take care of.
And it's really grown. It's creating a lot of nice shade here, like dappled light, that you can sit and enjoy some shade, you know, and have a little respite from the weeding, which is constant.
Constant. That's what I just like about this time of the year. All
Yeah.
we do is water and weed.
Yes.
And the more you water, the more weeds you get.
Exactly, yes. Yeah.
It's a vicious cycle.
It is, but, you know, it's just part of the job.
It's worth it.
Yeah.
And look, we have here another hydrangea. This is
That's a lace cap
The lace
hydrangea,
cap.
yes. Yeah, and that's been struggling to get, along. It's really flowered nicely this year, but it's a very slow growing plant. And but it's really pretty, I think.
Will it vine up?
No, it's
No.
not. It's not a climber. It's a shrub. Yeah.
Well, the color is beautiful. Again, it's picking up the blue from the other side of the garden.
Yes.
You don't. I just never find enough blue in gardens.
Yeah, it is the rarest color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you, Paul and Kathy. Paul's enjoying the shade and the view. It's just lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for allowing us to come in and
well,
visit.
you're entirely
It's
welcome.
been a lot of fun, and enjoy the rest of the summer.
Oh, we will. Yes. A little more relaxing, I think, too, as
Yes.
as the year goes on.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Linda Temporino, and this morning we're in the garden of Steve, back here in the back of his house, and he's got a most unusual vegetable garden. Hi, Steve.
How you doing?
Tell me, what have you got growing here? I know nothing about vegetables. The only thing I know is to eat them, but I don't know how to grow them. I don't know what they look like on the vine. When it comes to vegetables, I'm really stupid. And what do we have here? This is very, very pretty. I mean, I know nothing about veggies, but I know that it's pretty. What is it?
That's a zucchini plant.
Okay. It almost looks like a daylily.
Yes.
It's very, very attractive. And no fruit yet
Not on this one. I have ones on other plants.
on other ones. Do you stagger their growth so you have?
Yes.
You do. So you,
Not all of them grow at the same time.
yeah, so they don't come in at the same time and you get inundated with
Right.
everything. Yeah.
Right.
And what do you have here?
This is a sugar snap green
Sugar snap
green pea.
green pea. Is it the English style?
I'm not quite sure.
The only reason I ask that is because I see them out at the farm. They say our own English peas, So I said,
Most likely are.
Yeah.
It just said sugar snap.
okay. Now this lot looks familiar. It's a tomato. I
Yes.
recognize a tomato bush because there is one growing in my yard, and I don't know where it came from.
Yes. This is actually a big boy tomato brand, which started off as a little sprig, and I planted it, and this is what I have today so far.
Very nice. I see you really believe in recycling. I think this is wonderful.
Yes.
Where'd you get? You got all these containers from? Were they paint containers?
I actually picked them up from a local store. Then I drilled a hole in the bottom and I set up my own drainage system.
Yeah. Tell me about this drainage system.
I have the drainage system to where the water drains into the bottom of the bucket. Then when it gets to a certain point, it drains into the container. Then I reuse the water.
So you can recycle the water as well.
Right, recycle
Wow.
the water, and I also recycle all the ingredients that I put in the water, such as fertilizer, fish emulsion, and all that stuff.
So would you consider yourself an organic gardener then?
I try my hardest.
Yeah, the fish emulsion is good.
Yes.
Yeah, a little stinky, but
It's definitely kickstarted my vegetables this year, though.
wow, very good. So, and you have grass clippings in here as well.
Just for mulch.
Hold the moisture down.
Right. And this controls weeding.
And I wish I could do that in my yard. The weeds of this year has been incredible. Do you have a problem with these being knocked over when it's windy?
Just the tomato plants, because they get top heavy.
They get top heavy? I have a suggestion.
What?
Put a bunch of stones in there, or a brick or two.
That'll work.
Yeah, put it right on top.
That'll work. Thanks. I'll use that.
Hold it down. And what do we have here? And is that another sugar snap pea?
Yes, it is.
It is. And then another zucchini?
Yes.
Okay. I'm really intrigued with your irrigation system. How did you come up with this idea?
I got ideas off the internet, and I kind of made it adjusted it to my own needs.
So this is, what kind of a container is that? Milk? No.
It's just the 2.5 gallon water container.
Oh, the water
And
containers.
Once they're done, I put the hoses into there, and
And it doesn't dilute,
Nope.
you know? I mean, you said you
well,
put
eventually it dilutes.
Yeah.
But then I just drain it into the sprinkler. Then I put it on and back into the plant.
Wow, that's very clever. You ought to patent that.
I don't think I can. But
No, you think, oh, someone's already done it?
yes.
Oh, okay. So, well, that's great. Well, let's move to the back of the shrubbery here and see what we have growing back there. Well, this is more zucchini,
Yes.
more
2
zucchini,
more plants.
and more cucumbers.
Yes.
And look what we found here. Nice looking cucumber. It's nice to see the vegetables without any wax on them like you find in the supermarket.
Yes.
Yeah. So
without
they
the
look
cost.
yummy. And what do we have over here?
That's my compost.
Your
pile over there.
compost. Great. That's wonderful.
Pretty much put everything in there.
You put everything in there. You don't have a you don't need a garbage disposal, do you?
Nope.
No. Great.
This morning I actually put lint in there from the dryer.
Why?
Because I read online that it'll increase the drainage of the soil.
Wow. Boy.
I spend a lot of time on the internet on the garden sites.
That's wonderful. Isn't the internet a great tool?
Can be.
It can be, yeah. Okay, Steve, where do we go from here?
More sugar snap peas.
Little
that I
ones.
planted, yes.
Okay.
They're sprouting up.
Oh, wonderful. And what do we have here? These cute little plants.
These are more of my sugar snap peas. I planted 54 of them, and they're just sprouting up and starting to grow up the trellis.
Now, do you sow them right into the ground, or do you start them indoors?
Earlier the ones that I planted inside, then brought them out, but these I sowed directly into the soil.
And they're hardier, aren't they, if they
Yes.
don't have to be transplanted
Yes.
like a regular flower or
Right.
something like that? And they'll grow up here, and that'll be really pretty.
Yes.
Very, very pretty.
I think out of all my vegetables, this is my favorite crop.
The peas.
Right. They
yeah.
never make them to the table,
Oh.
so that's why I had to plant more.
That's the problem I had with growing little cherry tomatoes in a pot last year. They never made it into the kitchen.
It's like candy.
Well, you know, you're outside and you get hungry and you just pick a couple off the bush, and that's a meal. That's a meal.
They're actually my dog's favorite too.
The cherry tomatoes or these here?
Actually, both, but the sugar snap peas, he'll be at the top of the hill. He'll see me snapping them, and he'll come running down.
Do they eat the pods?
Yes.
Oh,
He eats everything.
that's great. so it doesn't go into the compost.
No.
So, okay. Well, speaking of cherry tomatoes, show me your crop.
All right, they're this way.
Well, you've got a nice big crop of these delicious looking, absolutely look at that beautiful color. Just gorgeous. Mind if I snag one?
Feel free. I can't walk by them without having
Oh my goodness. Oh. So delicious.
very sweet.
Can I have some to take home? Do you have a doggy bag?
I have plenty of doggy bags.
Great. Oh, these are so wonderful.
Thank you.
You want to grab that one up there for me? Yep. That's perfection. How do you keep your dogs away from these?
I don't. I actually saw my dog in the plant one time. He only picks out the orange ones.
Well, he doesn't like he only picks out the orange ones, so wow. So he can tell the difference.
I guess.
'Cause I guess dogs can detect color then. I
Okay.
didn't know that. So, yep, these are delicious.
Thank you.
Gonna have another
Take as
one.
many as you want. I have a whole box in my hat.
Delicious. Sure beats the supermarket.
Yes.
Look at them all. My goodness. Good thing you only planted three bushes.
I have 3 up here, and I also have 2 planted down there. They haven't sprouted yet, though.
Tell me, I mean, you've got quite a bit of land back here. Why don't you plant up there instead of just more convenient?
Well, it's more convenient. Plus, all the trees up there, there's like no sunlight up there during the day, so the sunlight's on here pretty much all day.
Yeah. It looks like it's been a lot of fun for you.
Definitely, it's time consuming, but you can save a lot of money.
Yeah, and it's
fresh.
Yeah, it tastes wonderful. So, okay, well, thank you so very much, Steve.
No
It's
problem.
been a pleasure.
Thank you for that.
Okay. Well, I hope everyone has enjoyed today's episode. It's a little bit different from what we usually have. We usually have all those gorgeous flowers and shrubs, but ooh, I see another little tomato. So you really ought to try next summer, or you can start early in the spring and plant in the house like Steve does, and try them. These are sweet 100s, and boy are they sweet. Yummy. Good. And hope you join us again. Bye for now.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.